Mas marami pang balitang combat sports ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong hapon, teammates. Narito ang aking panayam sa Pangulo ng Brave Combat Federation na si Mohammed Shahid dito sa ating sports chat. This is since we're dealing with the Philippine market here, let's talk a little bit about Rolando D's loss to Maximovic last December in Brave CF 56. How did you see that fight?
Oh, it was a tough fight. You know, you're always gonna see whenever you fight against an opponent in their home country, you're always gonna have the home advantage. And it's mixed martial art. You know, I mean, in this sport, you're always gonna have a judging system where you have 3 judges making a decision on a 10-9 scoring system, and it is a tough situation. There is no particular reason who gives one more priority. Is it the striking? Is it the damage? Is it the cage control? Is it the takedowns? Even, you know, once upon a time, takedowns used to be really important, and guys who get maximum takedowns used to win the fights. And then they started looking at it and saying that how much of those takedowns are really effective and how much damage are you really giving with that? So it keeps changing. The regulation is keeping on changing in mixed martial art. And I think there's a lot of room for improvement in the scoring and the judging system in mixed martial art. I am a person who always was vocal about that kind of format. But it is what it is. When you fight in the home crowd, you're always going to have judges looking at the amount of each punch the opponent gives is going to be the whole crowd screaming. And then you give a 10-9 system. So, but that fight was very, very close. I've told Rolando, I've told everybody else the same thing. If the judges gave that fight to Rolando, I would have no complaints about it. If the judges gave it as they gave it to Slobodan, I have no complaint about it. It is what it is. And it was a thin line fight. It could have gone either ways. But this time it went to in the form of Slobodan winning the fight. But I didn't mind if it would have gone to Rolando D's side as well. It could have gone either ways. It was a close fight. That's why we have a saying that don't leave it in the hands of judges, right?
All right. Now, looking at the Philippines in general, do you plan to stock up on more Filipino fighters? Are there any ones in particular that, you know, without breaking any confidences, are there any ones in particular that you're interested in?
What we've done is we've started creating a new, because 2020 and 2021 was 2 years filled with pandemic. It was very hard for Southeast Asian athletes to travel to different countries. For us to go and do an event in Southeast Asia was also a challenge. And it's not just Southeast Asia, it was the same situation we faced with African continent, the same situation we faced with South American continent. So if you look at the amount of Brazilian athletes and the Philippines athletes and the African athletes, there was very much a lack of them in the last 2 years, you know. And this year, 2022, we are really looking at getting back into action. We've already started doing Road to Brave in South Korea. We've already started operating a team in Indonesia. And that's the same plan we have in Philippines as well. We want to go out there and start signing new athletes. We've already started speaking to a lot of team members and partners that we have in Philippines to open up doors to get a list of top talents that's out there and start signing these athletes. But that's the plan for 2022. And we're definitely going to have more Philippines fighters coming to Brave Combat Federation in 2022. But definitely that's the plan.
Yeah, well, looking at the rest of the region, you know, traditionally people talk about China. In boxing now, some of the attention is going to India. You know, they're really interested in boxing. It's just that they don't really have any significant talent right now. For Brave CF, which would be the parts of Asia that you would want to target first?
But if you look at today, I think the biggest, as per the books or as per the records, you see Central Asia are doing a great job in mixed martial art, especially from countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan are growing heavily with athletes, although they are more in the Russian-speaking media and the Russian-speaking side. So we don't, at the Asian community, we don't really pay attention, or we don't see that much because they're more on the Russian MMA media side. But if you look at the world ranking, the 2 countries that are in the world ranking are from Central Asia, which is Kazakhstan and Tajikistan at the amateur level. And the other strong area in Asia is West Asia, which is the Middle East. And that's a lot to do with the resources this part of the world has been investing in mixed martial art. We, as Bahrain, has been investing in mixed martial art since 2015. We've held the 3 top world championships here in Bahrain. The next world championship, which is happening currently as we speak, is happening in Abu Dhabi. We are hosting the MMA Super Cup. UFC events are in Abu Dhabi. Brave events are happening in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. So you see the investment that this part of the world has put, and the results are coming out in terms of athletes. Southeast Asia is a very important market. The most challenging part is we've never had a leading promotion that has taken and said that I'm going to invest in the development of Southeast Asian talent. And when we say development, it's not development for my promotion. It's not how much money I make, how much followers I make, or how much my balance sheet looks like. The real development is what we have done as Brave Combat Federation around the world, is go and invest back into the country, create events in the country, take the talents and make them compete internationally around the world, like what we did for Philippines athletes, to take them around the world and compete. Develop the national federations, strengthen the national federations in the country, create private sectors to invest in the industry rather than just my promotion, because the industry involves media platforms like yourself, gyms, local promotions, federations. They all need to make money out of this industry. Today, the money is not there in the industry. The money is with the promotions, if there is any. And that's where the challenge is. We want to try to make the federation, the industry richer. How do we make the private sectors and the government invest in the industry so it's a bigger pie of the cake that we all can eat from? But how do you do that? Is by creating a new model. Today, the boxing model or the MMA model, I believe, is a failed business model. We learned it from 100 years old boxing model, and we are implementing it today in MMA, which I don't believe is true. We have to change that model from an event business to a sports business, and that is the vision of Brave Combat Federation. It's not our bank balance, it's not our balance sheet at the end of the year. Our priority is to change the industry of mixed martial arts, and that's what Brave is doing. And I think that is the future of how the industry is actually going to grow. And I think that's what Southeast Asia wants, and that's what Brave is going to be really delivering to the Asian market.
All right, well said. Looks like a grand plan, and we look forward to seeing all this happen. Thank you, Mr. Shahid, for your time.
It's a pleasure, Bill. Thank you very much for your time.